Hey guys, my name is Maria Oliveira. I am the co-owner of Passport Vintage, a brick and mortar vintage shop here in Austin, Texas. And we also have an Etsy shop with over 4,000 sales, and we have an Instagram account that you should follow right now. Check below for the link. So we get asked a lot, how do I get started? Like, I've always dreamed of opening up a vintage shop, and it's just, how do I do it? So I'm gonna tell you how to do it and how I did it for myself. And hopefully you can get these useful tips and put them into work, because you can dream it, but you have to actually do it too. So I have 5 easy steps for you, and this is an overview. And then if you guys want me to go in depth for any of these steps, just let me know and I'll make another video. So step 1, 2018, you've seen all the vintage shops on Instagram and Depop and Etsy, and like, what do? Okay, this is your dream, you start. If you want to start a vintage shop, I am just gonna go on a limb and assume that you already know how to get clothes, or you already have some clothes that you can start with. Have 10 pieces, that's all you need. And it can be, pieces that you've gathered from years of collecting, because if you want a vintage shop, you probably love vintage clothes. If you don't love vintage clothes, then you need to move on to the next business. So right now, put 10 items on the side that you're like, I wanna start with these. And those 10 items are the first 10 items that you're gonna start the shop with. So the first tip is stop right now and start. So how do you start? Very basic overview. We're talking about starting online and then migrating to having an actual storefront. So to start online, what do you need? You'll need photos. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't make things difficult for yourself. Start with your iPhone or whatever phone you have. Basically, any phone right now has a decent camera. If you know how to take photos, like you're a photographer, that's so much better. But just start. Go on your most popular or your favorite sellers that are on Instagram or on Etsy and Depop. See how they do their photos, and don't copy them, but look at your 5 favorite sellers, see what they're doing, and then merge that into your own style. And that's how you start. So you set the items aside, you take photos. Okay, you have the photos. Second, you have to pick a platform. So it's 2018, last 2016 and 2017, there were a lot of people who just did Instagram for their vintage shops, and that's amazing, but the algorithms keep changing. And right now, if you're starting from 0, it would be really, really, really hard. So we'll get to Instagram on the next tip, but for tip number 2, you have to pick a platform. In 2018, you have to pick a platform. Just Instagram is not gonna work for you. So 2 platforms, Depop or Etsy. Pick one of those and you go with it. Whichever ones fits your style. Maybe I can do a video later of pros and cons. We're on Etsy because we've been there for eternity, 4 years. But Depop, I highly recommend that too. 3, so you have your photos. You decided you're gonna put them on Etsy or Depop. What do you need to do now? What you need to do is start marketing. So you need an Instagram account. Why Instagram? Because that's the best way to market for free in 2018. It's not the best way to get just the sales. That's a different thing between marketing and the sales. People are they're not that interested anymore in you posting items and shoving items down their throats through the Instagram feed. They want to know about you, your shop, what's special about the item. So that's how you market. So you need to start growing an Instagram account immediately. And it's only Instagram because there's nothing better right now available. So start with Instagram and you just start putting as much of yourself on there. If you have a personal account, I would highly recommend that you just use your personal account instead of starting kind of like an anonymous account for your shop. there's nothing for people to connect to there. I know it may seem a little bit difficult, you know, you may not want to put stuff on your personal Instagram account, but maybe that's something we can delve into later, and I can explain why that's so powerful. But if you just want to start basic, just start an Instagram account, YouTube, and learn about Instagram analytics and algorithms and just like what you can do. Again, that's a whole other tutorial. Okay, step 4, pop-ups. You have to put yourself out there into the world, and you have to actually talk to customers and see what they want to buy from you. So every seller is different, and every seller has a different personality, and you have to find out, what does a customer want to buy from you specifically? What are you great at? Are you great at like finding amazing blouses? Are you great at, like we are here at Passport, we love jeans, so we're just jean shorts and jeans and vintage Levi's. That's what we're great at, and that's what people want to buy from us. So you need to actually be out in the world. Here in Austin, Texas, we have Laissez-Faire, which is a biannual, last year we did it 3 times, vintage market where we have a bunch of vendors come, and we have a ton of traffic and a ton of people, and that's how you can see, like, you have all your items there, and you can see what people are even interested in. You can only sell what people want to buy from you. So be out there. You know, there's such a culture of pop-ups now. If there are shops in your city that you can do a pop-up at, go and do that. You want to talk to people in real life and your potential customers. All right. Step number 5, the last step, you got this. If this is your dream, you're gonna make it happen. Step number 5, be consistent. Be consistent on your dream. Don't give up. If this is really what you want, don't give up. And if you go on a wave and then you kind of stop for a little bit, don't delete everything. You can pick it up later. Just be consistent, be posting, make a posting schedule for yourself. If you do 10 items and the next week you do 10, and then the next week you do 10, and the next week you do 10. If you have an Etsy or a Depop shop with 100 items, you'll be successful. You're gonna sell, for sure. You just have to be constantly out there and putting yourself out there, and you have to market and you have to list. So that's how you start on the online shop. It's really that simple. It's 5 steps. And I really, really hope that you do it, because if it's your dream, then you should do it. And leave questions below of what else you want to learn, of how to start a vintage shop. I would love to tell you everything. And follow Passport Vintage on Instagram, Passport Vintage, at Passport Vintage. And my personal Instagram is Maria, and then 4 Congress, and you should follow me on there too. And leave a comment and a thumbs up, and best of luck to you. If you really want this and you just follow these steps, you'll be successful and you have the vintage shop that you want.